Hey everybody, welcome back to the wood shop for another outdoor project. When it comes to outdoor projects, one of the best woods you can use is cedar.
That's right, it's rot resistant naturally and it's beautiful. We're going to take these 8 cedar fence pickets. We couldn't find them at our local big box store, they don't carry them. We drove an extra 20 miles and picked these up. We're real excited to use them. We're going to build an outdoor planter box. It'll be a great statement piece, a nice addition to any porch, deck, or patio filled with some nice flowers.
Now these pickets, when you buy them, they're rough sawn, so I went ahead and sanded them down a little smoother. Next thing we got to do is break out the table saw and cut off these rough edges. Now it's time to rip all of our boards to their final width. We'll need one board that's 4 inches wide, 3 boards that are 5 inches wide, and 5 boards that are 2 inches wide.
All right, we've moved over here to the miter saw, and the first 3 boards we're going to work on are these 5-inch boards. We need 12 pieces that are 10 inches each, and then we're going to need 6 pieces that are 13 1/4 inches. All right, we finished cutting up our 5-inch material, and we actually ran into a little bit of a mathematical problem. When we were cutting out all of those boards from the 5-inch material, we ran out of material. We needed 13 1/4 inch boards. I didn't actually factor that into the original calculation, so we managed to have 8 boards that we picked up, 8 total fence pickets. We just ripped into that 8th one and cut out our 6th board for the bottom of our planter. Now we're going to move on to this 4-inch board and cut out the boards for our side panels. We need 6 of those total at 10 inches each. All right, we're going to start breaking down our 2-inch boards, and the first few cuts that we're going to make, we're going to take these 2 boards right here, and out of each board we're going to get 31 1/4, so one piece is 31 1/4, and we're going to get a couple pieces that are 12 inches each. So let's go ahead and get to cutting.
Well, we're getting ready to put this thing together, and as you can see, we've got a whole lot of pieces sitting here.
We do. Right here we've got 6 boards. They're 5 inches. One of them's 5 1/2. I said earlier we had to run and cut another board out. These go on the bottom. These are the pieces for the bottom of the box. We'll use them last. We have several 10-inch boards here. These will make up the sides of the box. The actual side panels, these boards are 4 inches. The ones for the front and the back, they are 5 inches wide. And then we have some little thin strips, these 2-inch pieces. These are 12 inches wide, and these are 31 1/4. So we've got a lot to work with. We're still not done cutting, but we are ready to start assembling.
Make sure you pay attention to the thickness of your furring strips, because 2 of them do have to meet and one will overlap the other. So you want to make sure it actually completely comes to that edge and covers it, or else you'll see some end grain showing there. We are going to be putting this together with some 1-inch deck screws and a little bit of wood glue. Now before we get started, I'll go ahead and explain to you how these panels go together. They have to go together a certain way so the bottom will fit in right. The top furring strip fits flush with the top of these panels. The bottom furring strip has to hang down about 5/8 of an inch, or the thickness of your bottom, so that way the bottom actually sits recessed inside here, and it works that way on all 4 panels.
Of you just kind of wing it. We're kind of like half and half. We draw stuff out, we write down calculations. Math is hard. So as you can see here, before we started putting this together, we thought, we need to see, we planned for these furring strips to have an overlap on each end so we could put these on, and it's not working. So, no big deal. Where there's a will, there's a way. What we're going to do is we are going to cut a little bit off 2 of these boards, 5/8 to be exact, because as you can see, we've got our side panel sitting here, and we started laying this out, and it looked great. And then we got down to the end of this panel, and we ran out of room. But we want to be able to sit our side panels. We want these to be recessed in. We don't want to see that end grain from the front. So, simple fix. We're going to run back over to the miter saw and cut 5/8 off each one of these boards. Now that all 4 of our panels are put together, it's time to watch our planter box take shape.
We're going to construct this by using 2 screws at the top and at the bottom of each corner.
Math is hard. So we originally thought that these boards would be 12 inches, and then we overthunk it. You ever overthunk something? They say go with your gut instinct, your first thought. We thought they were supposed to be 12, and then we thought, oh no, because of the extra, the extra thickness of the wood, it's got to be 13 and a quarter. It doesn't. They have to be 12. So we're going to take all these boards back over to the miter saw, cut them at 12, and we will put the bottom into our box. I said earlier that we weren't done cutting boards, and that's true. We wanted to get the box together so we could get some really precise measurements for an embellishment that's going to go on top. So the remaining 2-inch boards that we have here, we're going to cut a couple corner to corner that are 28 and 11/16, and a couple corner to corner that are 10 and 15/16. Let's get these cut out.
Well, now that these are cut and we've got them sitting up here, you can pretty much see what the end result's going to look like. All we've got to do now is put a little glue on these and screw them down. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is drill some drainage holes in the bottom with a 1/4 inch Forster bit.
All right, I'm going to give this a nice sanding. You know, Brian, he sanded these boards lightly before we started working with them. But now that it's all assembled, we're just going to give it a nice light sanding before we put on some finish. All right, one more step to go. It's the final home stretch. We're going to finish this cedar planter box. We're going to do it very simply with some Watco teak oil. Hardens in the wood, not on the wood. Great for outdoor furniture. So let's go ahead and watch this rain pop.
And there you have a nice project that you can make pretty cheap by using some cedar fence pickets. And after some miscalculations and some recalculations, we finally have a planter box.
We think it turned out pretty nice, but along the way we learned that fence pickets are not our favorite medium to work with.
No, they're really inconsistent with their thicknesses. They'll be 3/4 of an inch here and 5/8 of an inch here. I would really suggest running these through the planer if you want to get a really good build out of them. We've used pickets in the past, just the regular treated, pickets, not the cedar kind, and they're the same thing. It's all inconsistent with the thicknesses and the widths. It all has to be milled.
Just remember, sometimes you get what you pay for. If you liked today's video, give us a big thumbs up. If you've not subscribed to our channel yet, we'd really appreciate it. The button's right down there. And if you really want to support Wood Songs by Russell, smash that super thanks button or pick up a Happy Woodworking t-shirt. Thanks again for joining us today. Happy woodworking!